welcome to Elsie's World. I'm Michael Elsie, and this is the world famous Million Mile Lexus LS400. And who are you?
Hey, I'm Rutledge Wood. I work on TV. This is the Million Mile Lexus, and you're watching the restoration. Let's get to work.
If you are new to the channel, in the last video we dyed the carpet, purchased a parts car, repaired the plastic rear bumper cover, removed all the body trim while doing lots of cleaning, and my friend Jay from Solvent Division came by to give us a lesson in working metal and help fix this destroyed front fender. Now, since we have an absolute legend here in the shop, let's see what Rutledge Wood has to say about me restoring this Lexus with 1 million miles on it for our mutual friend Tavares.
And did you know that Toyotas can go this long?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I am a proud Toyota partner and ambassador. What I love about this car is I knew about it from Matt Farah, and I knew the idea behind, okay, let's get this car, let's get it over 1 million miles. Then it ends up in Florida with Tavares, and then somehow the two of you come up with this scheme to restore the thing. I don't know if people can really appreciate how much time went into just the corner of this one fender. Like, this is what I've seen you do here, the miracle that is this fender. It's insane, man. I mean, this is truly, when people ask me, like, how long have you been a fan of Toyota and Lexus? Honestly, since I could first see one, because they make great stuff that lasts. You think about this car, it's led like 9 lives to get here, but it's just cool to think about when you're done with this and it's got the new paint and everything else on there, like, it's going to have a whole new lease on life. What an incredible thing. Don't get me wrong. I always wanted an LS. I had one on Top Gear. I bought at a like a police impound auction in Compton. I flat blacked it, rattle can, flat black. I think I threw some wheels on it, and I sold it on Top Gear for $1, and I traded this guy for a members only jacket.
Wait.
Yeah.
Freddie bought this car for $1. Where are all these dollar Lexus? I had to pay a little bit more than $1 for a parts car.
Well, and I like the parts car so much, I keep thinking about maybe I should buy this. Because, again, this is a car that I would buy. I'd tint it. I'd try to fix the paint, and then I would just dump it on the ground and throw some baller wheels on there. But that's because that's how I like, these cars are so nice. So I remember the first couple times I got in one, I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. But, you know, outside of maybe needing a good steering wheel, I'll be honest, I think we should probably just find a different steering wheel.
Well, the internet's torn, so we did a little poll on one of my videos. Some people wanted it replaced, some wanted it recovered, and some had the idea of putting like a ceramic gel around it to where it's encapsulated like that forever.
Like a clear epoxy,
like a clear, yeah, like,
remember the history of it.
Correct, yeah, which I thought
a clever idea.
So you're not like touching that nasty wheel, but like it's still there.
To me, this is like the internet's version of Ludacris's Acura.
Yes.
That Acura rebuilt for him. So in my mind, like, I think this ought to go to an interior shop and get fresh seat covers. I'd replace the steering wheel. I mean, I think it should be as nice as it can be. Have the LEDs been fixed? Because a lot of the LEDs will burn out on the climate control, right, sometimes on the dash.
They do work, and the whole gauge cluster works.
Well, it's perfect.
But now the speedometer's reading at half of what you're really going.
Okay.
So it's a good excuse if you get pulled over.
Well, people should slow down.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, you know?
This obviously it had some bronze tint on there at some point.
I think it had a lot of different versions of window tint on this. It had been retinted a few times. And like you said, I looked it up. The average car goes 200,000 miles, Rhett.
That's average.
Average.
This car is well above average.
It is well above average.
In every way. Right?
And for those of you who don't know, Rutledge is the Toyota man, and he just so happened to catch me just right, because look in the shop. We got the Million Mile Lexus. We have that Lexus. We have a beautiful Mark II Supra and a beautiful Mark IV Supra. So what I did was I pulled all these Toyotas in. I went in the bathroom and I said, Toyota 5 times, and Rutledge Wood appeared.
I just like that. That's all. And I drove my Tundra here. So it all works together. That Mark II is so great. That pace car is ridiculous. I mean, this is
Not bad.
This is my happy place.
So how do we get your blessing on the Million Mile Lexus? What do you normally do to crescent a car, if that's the right word?
I mean, obviously, emotionally, you've got it. I'm just going to give it just a little love right here.
You saw it here first.
I think that's all you need. Hey, there's not a better person to follow than Michael Elsey. So make sure you're sharing this with your friends. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm on the YouTubes as well. I don't do as much because I'm still trying to keep all these other plates spinning in the world of TV. But this is amazing. He's a great guy. I missed the purple Supra. And thanks for always helping me work on my rides. You're the best.
Absolutely, dude. Anytime.
Who left the Allen keys on the roof?
I don't know.
You know,
Someone really. That's guess who's gonna have to fix that?
You.
Correct.
That pearl is gonna be really nice when y'all redo this.
The rear bumper had 8 layers of material on it.
Come on.
8 layers.
That's charm right there.
Absolutely insane. So, guys, let's all show Rutledge Woods some love in the comments for coming by and checking out the Lexus and giving it his seal of approval. So, and check out Rut's Rides here on YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Freddie, thanks for sending this hunk of junk up here. This is awesome. I love it. Tavares is the best.
He is. All right.
Hey, can we put this turbo on here? No one said anything about that we couldn't restore it better and make it faster. Couldn't we just...
Yeah, that's a sore subject because Freddie said he was going to turbo it until it exploded. And some people got upset.
Oh,
But
I'm with them then. Let's not turbo it. I don't want to make anybody mad.
right, you are the man, and Toyota is lucky to have you in this world.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
You want me to show you how to open it?
Nope,
Oh,
nope.
he's got, hey,
Nope,
see?
I've worked on some cars before.
He knows Toyotas.
That's right.
He's the man, and this is, what a special treat to have right here. He's obsessed with this. I don't know if he's going to leave without, like, this car or that one. I don't know.
It still smells new. For the
It
record.
does.
It smells exactly like what an Lexus smells like.
You got that, like, smell to, like, BMWs have the crayons, you know? It's almost like a leathery new car smell.
It's like it feels like a fancy sweater.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
welcomes you in. Like, come on in. We're Lexus.
Beautiful. Rutledge, love you, bro.
Love you, bro.
You're the
Thanks
man.
for having me.
Yes, sir.
I'll just get to work sanding this quarter panel.
Next up on the Lexus, we take the bumper from Party the Parts car just to use as a template to make sure that the fender is fitting up correctly to the bumper. After we confirm this, we'll move on and put the original bumper back on to verify the fitment. We are dangerously close to having this fender totally repaired. Our good bracket has been swapped over, and it's time just for the fun of it to see what this looks like fitted up on the car. Now that I have a good idea of how the bumper is supposed to fit, I'm going to take the original Million Mile bumper and hang it on the car to see what kind of fitment we're working with here. I mean, I think we're okay. I think this bumper isn't what I thought. It looks like they took a cutoff wheel to it right here. It lines up right here where it's supposed to. It looks absolutely mangled and destroyed, but I think I can fix this. I know we can use this bumper. I know we can fix it, but I'm gonna have to take it to a friend's body shop and fix it there because I don't have all the materials and tools needed to fix this. So let me show you how we're gonna address this at his shop. The bumper is stamped with the PUR notation, which means this is a polyurethane bumper. And unfortunately, we cannot melt a staple into it or melt the bumper because it turns into a liquid form. Therefore, we have to brace up the back of this bumper and use a filler rod to fill in this massive void. Check it out, we got some mesh reinforcement here. We determined this is going to be the best way to structurally fix this bumper. This is almost like reinforcing concrete with rebar, right? So we got panel bond on top of the mesh. And he's brushing it on in there. We got this so it doesn't ooze out everywhere. I haven't seen someone paint like this since I watched them paint the Picasso. You, sir, are an artist. We're gonna brush that in and let it cure for like a day. I think we'll be fine. I don't think this will ever crack.
That's gonna be solid. That 3M panel bond's no joke, so. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
I'm back at the shop. This has officially cured. Let me show you how intense this panel bond is. I mean, they literally use this stuff to hold cars together, so let's have a look. So I was actually trying to take this off that Dalton put on because I messed up. I didn't heat it up enough to push this low spot down enough. So I'm actually going to heat this up and try to push this low spot out. I'm not a perfect person. Let's see how we can fix this screw up that I did here. Sorry, Dalton, that I wasted your time on this. I feel like this is gonna be a good bonding experience for us all together, pun intended. And I think we'll get through this. I'm gonna refit the bumper and make sure everything's good. So if you're in the Birmingham area and need quality products like 3M stuff, panel bond, I got all this from Rosars in downtown Birmingham. I got this re-panel bonded because I had to heat it up and sacrifice it. So I had to strip all that back off and put this back on. But it was, that stuff was so hard to get off. Like, I really trust this repair. I do not see this giving us any issue.
Now that the back of the bumper is fixed, we're going to melt this polyurethane filler rod down into the bumper so that it'll properly bond and fill in this massive crack.
All right, after a ton of fitting and refitting and fitting again, check it out. I think we're good. That was a lot of work. It fits. So I think we're good to strip this bumper down.
Now that we know we are going to use this original bumper, it is time to start the labor-intensive process of stripping down all the old layers of paint down to the bare plastic. It is very important to get all the old material off since it's already failing and flaking. We don't want to put new material on top and risk it falling off. We are using the whole PPG catalog on this Lexus from primer all the way up to the clear coat, and these materials are specifically engineered to bond and work together, so we do not want any contamination.
Woo!
My air sander unfortunately cannot fit down in these small cracks and crannies, so I spent the rest of the day sanding all of this down by hand. I think my fingertips are gone now, and I don't want to use a chemical stripper because I think that could seep down into this plastic and come back and haunt us later, and I don't want that, so I'm taking the safe approach here on this front bumper.
Like the late Whitesnake once said, we are living on a prayer, brother. The front bumper is officially stripped down. That took forever to do. I did finally spend some money and I bought a aftermarket corner light, and it seems okay. It's not the best quality, but I think it'll be all right. And let's see how this bumper fits now that it's all fixed. All right, let's have a look at this. just dusted a little bit of primer on here and I have some guide coat. Then I have a flat sanding block so we can hit this and see where our high spots and low spots are. Still got some ways to go. None of these are super high or super low, but we got some dialing in to do here. See, the fender is super close now. Pretty much all the guide coat sanded off. This is a huge win. This fender is totally fixed and the bumper's totally fixed. Both are ready for primer. They fit magnificent. That means we can give the silver bumper back to Party the Parts Car. I've been seeing a lot of you talk about the ship a thesis argument in the comments, which means if you're not aware, that's like the oldest ship in the world that doesn't have any of the original parts anymore and it's still sailing. This one does have original parts on it and it has the VIN stickers to prove it, which is quite thrilling. So we still have the VIN sticker right here, which means that's original fender and a VIN sticker there. Thank you again, Jay, for helping me out on this fender. It was so bad, but now it fits up to this bumper. Now that those are fixed, this front end looks good. The whole front clip is now fixed. Let's move on to fixing these cracks in the trunk next. Hopefully there's not a can of worms hiding where this crack is. I think we're okay. I finally caught a break. There's not a ton of filler or anything crazy right here. It just cracked. That might be the first sign of real fatigue I've seen on this car, which is impressive for 1,000,000 miles. You'd think spot welds would just be falling apart and stuff, but they're not at all. Very impressive. Let's do the other side and then weld these holes up. This is why you clean things and assess what you're doing, because guess what? I found more holes to weld up. Okay, we have another crack there. The floor is pushed up right there. There was rumored to be subwoofers in this trunk once upon a time. And there's holes there, there, and there's two holes up here where the rear tire splashes water into the wheel well, so that's letting water in. There was a ground with a self-tapper in here once upon a time. You can see where the moisture and the water was coming in here. So where all those cracks were, the floor was actually pushed up, and once I cleaned it and vacuumed it, I could tell something weird was going on. Now there's the actual little indent here, another crack and another crack there, and that was pushed up. So push that down, and that, I think a body man's best friend is a block of wood and a nice hammer. The reason you use the wood is it softens the blow, because if you're just hitting the hammer straight to metal, it'll look like someone hit it with a bag of rocks. It'll just look horrible. Hey Winslow, if you had to guess, how many aftermarket holes are in the trunk of this car?
20?
32. I was curious about all this surface rust in the trunk.
Well, I knew there was a crack, and I knew there was those other weld points, but I didn't know we had perforation in the trunk, I think it's called.
I got the trunk super clean. I scrubbed it a few times, prepped it, scuffed it. We're ready to prime all the bare metal spots. It's hilarious how much work I'm putting into a trunk pan. We gotta fix it, but look how much better it looks already with like all scrubbed down. All that was just surface rust, thankfully. We caught it just in time, so it's time to prime all this and seal it up. Oh my gosh. It's like a brand new trunk now. This is why we're restoring this car, because it has so much more life left in it. You're probably wondering, why are all these holes still here? For the holes, we are using a 3M heavy body seam sealer. The part number is 08308. The reason I'm putting the seam sealer on is because I don't want to weld all these holes up next to a fuel tank.
There's all kinds of gas that's gonna move!
What an amazing episode this was. We got Rutledge Wood's blessing on this restoration. We fixed and stripped down this very hideous front bumper and fixed the fender, welded up all the holes and have it fitted right to the front bumper, and also welded up all those massive cracks in the trunk pan, sealed it off, and painted it to where it looks factory fresh. But we're not done yet, because next Sunday I have another special treat for you guys, so make sure you stay tuned.